Welcome to the next part of the visitor management training. In this video, we will explore creating companies, creating profiles, pre-booking visitors, generating user accounts and creating roles. Let's begin. To start, we will explain how to create a company and a person associated with that company. The first thing we need to do is check whether the person's profile already exists on the system. So to do this, click on Companies on the left-hand side. Here is a list of all companies currently in your ProVisit system. In our scenario, we're creating a company called Nintendo Plumbing. As you can see, this company is not on the list. Along with creating this company, we will create two new contractors. We can check if these profiles already exist by looking at people on the left-hand side and searching for the names. Nothing exists for our contractors. We've reached the conclusion that the company we need to create doesn't already exist on the system. And the contractors associated with this company don't already exist either. This means that we can now start creating the company profile. If we click on the plus button in the right-hand corner, then select Create a Company. Enter the company name. Here we have the option to upload a company logo, if required. Then enter the company's telephone number and the company email address. In this section, we can enter the address and a postcode. Then we decide where the company is authorized to work. Whether at head office, in the factory or both. There is also the option to select if they will be a subcontractor. We can check if they have a main company, which basically means a company that already exists on the system. In this example, the company we are creating is new and they are not a subcontractor. Finally, because we've set some documents up against new companies in the settings, we are being asked whether to allocate these particular documents to this new company. For example, we might want to request liability insurance. Here, we have the option to import a spreadsheet. This enables a bulk upload of lots of companies together. In this particular scenario, we just want to create the one new company. Once all the details are entered, simply hit the Create button. If we now select the Companies section, you can see that Nintendo Plumbing has been created. The company has the document that we requested allocated. The liability insurance. Document management is covered in a different video, along with the external portal for contractors option. This particular video is simply looking at creating a company and allocating contractors to that company. Please refer to our other videos if you'd like to explore the contractor external portal. Going back to our current task. Now we've created our company. The next thing we need to do is create members or contractors associated with that company. Again, we go to the top right-hand corner to create a profile. Here it's asking us which type of visitor. We'll create a contractor called Mario. We are asked if there is an approved company they are associated to. We can type in Nintendo Plumbing. We have the option to select this contractor, Mario, to be the company or contractor administrator. If we select yes, this means that he can administer all the documents for his particular contractors. Now we can add his email address and phone number. We choose the location where the contractor is able to work. We have the option to select the contractor to be able to host at any of these locations. However, he is a contractor, so he might be coming to site, but we probably don't want him to host. We will leave this box unticked. Then we simply create the contractor profile. Let's go into the People section. If we start searching, now Mario appears on the list. And if we go to Companies and look at People, we'll see that Mario is already allocated as a contractor to Nintendo Plumbing. Let's see how to create a visit. And how to pre-book a visitor. We start at the dashboard. To create a visit, go into the top right-hand corner where the plus symbol is. Click this button and select Create a Visit. There is the option to select the location, the type of visit, the time of the visit, and the day of the visit too. Click Next. Here we have a preset welcome message, which can be amended at this point. We also have the option to import a spreadsheet if a bulk upload of visitors is required. In this example we will pre-book just one visitor. Start typing the name of your visitor and select them. On the next page, there is a message to the host. This has been preset, but it can be amended here. Search the host. Select them. Click Next. If zones have been set up, you can select the applicable zone. If there are any attachments for the visit, for example a sitemap, this can also be attached now. Finally, there is the specific notes section relating to this visit. An optional tick box is available if the visit is confidential. Click Save, and the pre-booked visit has been successfully created. Now go and refresh the home page. You can see that the visit we have just created for our contractor, Mario, is showing. Let's now have a look at creating a visit again. However, in this example, we'll use a visitor who is not yet in the system. We can go through the same process, but this time we're going to look for a person that's not in the system, Luigi. From here, we can create the profile. Select the visitor type and enter the first name. We can even allocate him to an existing company, if one exists in our system. Enter email address and a mobile number. Click Save. We have now created a new visitor profile. We have been able to pre-book a visit for them too. Now search your host. Click Next and go through the same procedure. If we refresh the screen, we can see our new contractor that we have just pre-booked showing as expected on the dashboard. If we go into People and search for Luigi, we can see that this particular person has also been created a profile under the People section. Here is an example of the invitation our visitor will have received by email. The invitation contains the site location, date expected, and a QR code that he can use to sign into ProVisit via the kiosk. The host will also have received notification of this expected visit. It will look something like this. Again, the notification contains the visitor's name, company, expected date of arrival and messages. Next, let's explore how to create users and hosts within the system. First, click on People on the left-hand side. Our demo build is based on Wonka's Chocolate Factory. In this scenario, we want to set up Charlie Bucket as a new employee, create his profile and grant user access. We just need to check if he already has a profile in our system. Check by selecting Employees. Then search by the name Charlie. As typing starts, we can see that no profile for Charlie currently exists. This means we can create his profile and set him as a system user. To do this, we go over to the plus button on the right-hand side in the corner. Then choose Create a Profile. This is how you create any type of profile within ProVisit. In our scenario, we're interested in creating Charlie Bucket as an employee, as a host and with a user account. Select Create a Profile. You can choose a visitor type from the drop-down options. These are options which have already been generated in settings. And on this occasion, we are selecting Charlie to be an employee. We can type his name. Which company is he from? He's from our company, to be a Wonka's employee. Wonka's is set up on the system, so we can find our company and select. Now enter his email address and a mobile number if we have one. If we wanted to, there is the bulk import option for creating multiple employee profiles. This is done by downloading the spreadsheet template option down here. Simply populate the template with all the employees and their data. Then import that spreadsheet back into the system. On this occasion, we're just going to create one user, which is our new employee, Charlie. Once all the correct details have been entered, we simply hit the Create button. Our new employee Charlie has his own profile. Now we can provide him with a user login. To do this, click Edit on his profile. Then under User Login, click the Create User Account button. We ensure that the Enable Login button is toggled on to allow access. Which account type will he have? If he was from outside the company, like a contractor, he would be an external user. Because he is an employee, we will make him an internal user. Save those changes. We now need to select the location Charlie is based at if there is more than one option. Under Locations, we can click the Add Location button. Available options are contained in our drop-down box. In this scenario, there are two locations. Let's select the head office. We are asked whether we would like Charlie to host visitors at this site. Charlie will have the authority to create invitations and host visitors, so we will allow host and give him access across all zones within the company. Associate the setting to his profile. We can see his profile is now active at head office. It's active for all zones, and he has the ability to host. We can do exactly the same for the factory site if we wanted the same settings at that location too. Associate this, and now his profile is active across two locations, head office and the factory. If he had an access card or a token, you can select tokens and add this here. There is the choice of barcode or RFID and to give the token a name and value. The option to enable quick sign-in and token expiry is here too. In this scenario, Charlie's user profile has been created. We now need to decide what role or level of access will Charlie have. To do this, scroll down the left-hand side and go to Settings. Down at the bottom, go to Users. Charlie Bucket is showing as a user within our system. However, Charlie's role has not yet been allocated. Let's change this from no role to an admin one, which allows full access. You can select any of these other pre-selected roles, or you can create a new one that is bespoke. In this example, we'll give him admin access and save. After Charlie logs into the system, he will be able to choose two-factor for extra account security. We just need to remember to select locations. Again, making sure that he can have access to the relevant sites. The final step is to go back into his profile. Click on People and Edit. Now go to User Login and send the welcome email. Charlie will have received an email enabling him to log in with full access via his own account. The user account setup is complete. Charlie will now have received his welcome email containing the activation link. It will look something like this. Charlie can click on Activate My Account to set up a password and log into the system. Now let's explore creating different user roles. To view user roles, scroll down on the left-hand side to Settings. Under Settings, navigate to Roles. Here we see that there are two roles automatically available in the system. Firstly, an admin role. This allows an admin user to have full access to the system. Secondly, there is a general role. This role is fully customizable. The various functions and views can be selected and deselected in order to create the makeup of the general role. For example, you might want a particular user to have access to your home page. You may also want them to be able to access a calendar and view visits. Once you're happy with your selections, you can update the role. This has now been saved as this general role with the pre-selected options. You might also decide that you want a separate role for users to pre-book only. To do this, just click on Create. Give the role a title. Tick the options you would like to select. Save this role. A user can also be assigned to only access the pre-booking feature. That will limit access to everything except the dashboard, the calendar, and a view of pre-booked visits. This can be done by selecting the pre-book layout when viewing the role. To summarize, in this video we have looked at how to create a company, how to create profiles and pre-booking visitors. We have also explored how to create user accounts and generate roles. The next training video will look at the Assets feature, booking in deliveries, the Fire app and reporting. Your pro visit journey continues. Thank you for watching.